All right, back at it now with my good friend, Dr. Steve Turley, a recognized scholar, speaker, and author. He's got 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube, 15 million podcast listeners. Yeah, he talks. A lot of people listen. Turley, nice to see you back on the program.
So, Stephen, it's awesome to be with you. Like I said, it's another morning in the golden age. I mean, this is it's like Christmas every morning.
Today, look, it's been a whole week. Good Lord.
Yeah.
At this pace, we're all going to be worn out, in a few weeks. But here's where we are. Look, the thing with Colombia yesterday, Gustavo Petro, the president of Colombia, said, oh, you're not landing those planes here. And Trump said, that's fine. If you don't let us land those planes there right now, here's what's happening next. Here are the tariffs. Here are the inspections. Here are the evaluation of your people, all your people that are here in embassies. We're just everything's on the table. It took, if I'm right about this, 38 minutes later, they changed their mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to me so bizarre with this President Petro fellow. I mean, if you think it through, the guy had literally no political leverage whatsoever. I mean,
Nothing.
in the end, this whole crisis was refusing to take back his own citizens. I mean, what possible political leverage does he think he could have? And he was refusing to take back citizens that were here in our country illegally.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about Demented for a second, all right? Demented on social media. I put up a couple of videos about this. I do it every day. A little video about what's happening in the news. You probably do the same thing. Look, and all of these people on the left, look, Trump got rejected. Trump's going to lose. Trump's going to, Colombia just schooled you. And I'm like, I look at my clock. Well, that aged well in 13 seconds. You were wrong. But the fact that the left is cheerleading for Trump's failure again, not as many as say 2017, but it is really remarkable, isn't it?
It is. And the New York Times did a poll back in the first 2 weeks of January, and they asked voters, do you support the deportation of illegal migrants with criminal records? Steve, it was 88%. This is a New York Times poll. You know how they weight their polls. 88%. Tell me one other political issue that has support like that. 9 in 10 support it. So they could do this to their blue and you know what I loved? I loved when he posted the gangsta image. Did you see that? He posted an image of him looking like a mob boss, and it
gangsta,
had FAFO, and it stands for F around and find out. And I mean, just the symbolism of that, because that evokes this distinctively American mafia myth that came out during the Prohibition era when mob bosses, were glamorized as men of unwavering, fearless moxie against the powers that be. And I mean, you see that particularly with Mario Puzo's The Godfather, depicts mobsters as men who cared about the happiness of their communities and who lived by their own codes of honor and conduct. Again, Democrats they can't read the room. They don't recognize that all this is doing, like we've seen throughout the last year.
They can't read the room, and the room doesn't care about them anymore. It's not that they don't understand the room. The room's like, who are these people, and why would I want you in charge? That's the real change here, Turley.
Yeah, and the calculus, what's so fascinating is everything they throw at them, whether it's mockery, whether it's indictments, whether it's impeachments, you name it, everything they throw at him ironically makes him stronger. The last thing they had was rigging the election in some way, shape, or form. And even because of the calculus of everything they threw at him making him stronger, all they ended up doing was help him create a coalition that was too big to rig. So they couldn't even.
Beautiful though. About all this, and just reflecting on the first week, and you're right, he got stronger, it's too big to read, all of that. But he's going from the Oval Office to North Carolina to California, whatever, and he's strong, and with Petro here, he slaps back, but he's relaxed. He's not looking for votes. He's not on the campaign trail. He's doing the job. He's going to North Carolina, not because he needs votes, because he actually cares about those people. He's going to L.A. to say, look, you can rebuild a lot faster, not because he needs votes in California, because he knows it can be done and those people need help. This is the real Donald Trump now, the guy who actually cares about America and Americans going forward, doesn't need votes, and he's very calm, and he's grown into the job, as they say, in a remarkable way. Experience matters, doesn't it?
You know what? If you follow the Twitter handle of attorney and podcaster Eric Matheny, he
Yeah.
tweeted out something great, perfect. He said Trump is governing like a man who's been shot, indicted, investigated, and impeached, and has no F's left to give. It's glorious. That's really what it looks like. This, like you said, this is a man he's transcending politics in many respects. He's the political machine threw everything they had at him, and he won. He ended standing, and he just brushed off the dust, as it were, like Luke Skywalker. Right? I mean, it's absolutely astonishing. And again, even the Colombian president is finding that out, and it's so odd too, because if you look at Latin American politics, they have their own immigration problem. I mean, Colombia has all these Venezuelans who've come in. Argentina's taken in 2 million people over the last year. Colombia is number 2, almost 2 million. You see it Chile, and they resent it. Their citizens resent it because, look, we're in an era of what's called post-security politics, where all populations want their borders closed. They're sick and tired of this globalist policy of opening up the borders so you can have cheap labor. Everybody knows that.
And by the way, just so, and I said this to start the show today, Trace, this globalist policy. My favorite part of the entire week was Donald Trump addressing the World Economic Forum and carpet bombing them. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Shut up, you globalist pigs. We're done here. And no, we're not eating meat that comes out of a petri dish. Anyhow, I just thought that was the greatest part of the whole week.
It was.
Next time, more time, Mr. Turley. I appreciate you being here. Dr. Steve Turley, looking up on all the social media platforms. He's a rock star. You'll love him. Turley, thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Really appreciate it. I wish we had more time with him. But I've got Dr. Robert Malone on the way on tap. So we carved out a half an hour for Dr. Robert Malone to talk about what he sees with the World Health Organization and our exit therefrom. It's straight ahead on the Steve Gruber Show.